So what is startup PR? PR means nothing but personal relations. So is personal relations. So PR remains a mystery for many startup circles. When the right time to tell people about your startup. Many of people think, when should I tell about what I am doing? Is early coverage to the industry blocks valuable? So means if I show it early to the industry people, will that make them value? Message resonates and writers. Can you translate this cover to sales? Should you hire a PR firm? So these are questions many startups have. So you have to craft a meaningful position statements. Say for example a series of engaging positional statements. That is vital. Basically, what is your product? You have to tell people how will it affect others and who will care about your product. So basically these are three questions. You have to ask these three questions. These are engaging questions, so people ask these questions. So what's your product capable of doing, but clearly describe the value proposition, the problem. So basically people are interested in their problem, and how they'll be able to solve that problem is very important. So you have to craft that positional statement. If you are a good startup, you should be able to answer this question. So what is your basic product, and how it is going to affect other people's life, and who are the people who will care for that product, or who are the people who are going to purchase that product, and are they going to heal with that product. So this is, these are the meaningful statements which should be able to answer. You have to define your startup sensitives. So basically keep your close friends and your enemies closer. Keep your friends close and your enemies more closer, because enemies are going to show your weaknesses. That is very important thing. Until and unless you know your weaknesses, you will not be able to improve, right? So identify the competitor's strength and weakness and try to understand how the market of the product would be better. Gather all that information that is available to competitors. Basically, if you are an age, you look at that angle and whether they are on what things they are lacking, and how I can improve on things which they are lacking. So basically you have a very short time to engage writers before pitching them. Focus on one or the two strongest aspects for your value proposition and use to gauge media interest. So basically if you are caught by a media, that is very important thing. When media comes, they target you, and your work becomes acknowledged by thousands of people. When a media comes and they try to give importance to your work, and people start looking at your channel. So you have to identify the right writers for your media list. So you have to pitch only the writers or journalists who already write about your industry. So basically you look for the experienced people who write for that industry, so that they'll be able to write the best. Look at the writers who have covered the stories with the similar themes. Experience of course matters. So pitch the right writer for your story. For example, if your product is exclusively for iPhone, then don't pitch for Android product journalist. So basically the people who are experienced about the Apple, writing about the Apple products, so pitch that journalist, don't go for Android one. So build the real relationships to get to know the identified writers on a personal, non-promotional level. Set up private Twitter lists and actively engage with them. So in due time those relationships is going to help the startups. Relationships help actually in business also. Your first customers are basically who are in relation with you. So build your network before you need them. So it's very important to have a network who is actually going to promote your skills. So these are all basis on the personal relations only. You should be able to have a good set of relationship with the people. They're going to directly affect your sales. Create a press kit. Basically a key to successful media launch is rooted deep through a killer media kit. Here are some needed items. First is a media advisory is there about on what product you have to pitch on. Second, what are the logos and the screenshots you're going to help it out. And third, about the founder's biography and photos. So basically you have to, if you want to look professional in front of media, then your bio should be strong. You should be having some good set of photographs, so that can be published on internet or on a good media. So people will be highlighting it, and the media would be covering it. So here you should be able to have some media advisory also, to include that the product is changing world. The pitch should be included in the headline, basically the first paragraph of the release. So write it and direct it in someone who is going to really care. So basically that includes the information of the company. For example, what is the company's name, what is the website of the company, which is the official Twitter handle of the company, who is the CEO and who are the co-founders of the company, basically what is the launch date, and what kind of fees do they charge. So these are nothing but these are the basic informations which media looks on it. So basically about the what are the logos and the screenshots. Basically most writers are skimming on the media advisory in order to increase the chances of coverage. So basically visual and founder information is very important thing, that includes supplementary visuals to accomplish the story. So you have to write a brief biography of each co-founder. So basically your company should have some story, because until and unless you don't have a good story, people are not going to link with you. So include any tidbits writer that can make use of the story more interesting. So you have to create a story in order to get remembered in the people's mind. We recommend to use a personalized Dropbox for each journalist that will tell you about the confirmed interest. So reach out to journalists. So engage with your journalist prior to reaching out is key. Don't assume they are interested. Be polite and request. Send information to your story that may interest them. Build relationship with them. They may decline, but continue to build a relationship. But it could be acceptable in future. So having the journalist on the hand is very important. So we'll be dealing about the content creation, how to create topic, and what type to publish, how the webinars and ebooks are going to help startups, and videos, and all these things in the upcoming slides to come. Thank you, and stay tuned to the videos. Subscribe the channel.